I'm sure we can have the president's coat of arms grown here. It's important that Kajana's brand is known.
It would be a first, ma'am.
First of all, when I auditioned, I didn't even audition for the First Lady. I auditioned for a different role. And when I was told, come in and would like to see you audition as a First Lady, I was like, oh my goodness, can I really hack this? You know, First Lady, you know, let me tell you something funny. You know what my mom said? She said, you can't be a First Lady. First Ladies are always big. And then I'm like, I'm Michelle Obama. So I thought, okay, and that's what came to my mind. I'm like, oh, I don't have the physique for it. I don't have the age for it. Can I really? But you know, I've really had to look deep and imagine what would Chichi be like as a First Lady, you know? And so it has been a lot of mental preparation, especially when you're going to do a scene. And so means a lot more concentration for me, a lot more having to know my lines so that I can just look for how a First Lady would say it, or how I perceive the First Lady would say or behave in such a situation.
To present them to you. To present them to you.
Yay!
How long have you been there for?
Long enough to be proud that I voted for you.
Dad, did you really vote for me?
I did. You are the pretty.
You're damn right I was.
I initially thought that Chichi would come and play the role of Catherine. But when she came in, I just felt that, you know, there's something else that she could add. So she quickly became the First Lady. And when we matched her up with Kajana, who is played by Jimmy Gathu, it was a perfect fit. Can we just run it from the top? And Eric, I will give you... Where's Eric?
Wanuri is a very good director. I am a performer. And so as an actor, the director is the most important person to me when you're shooting. It could be well written. Many times we don't meet the writers. It could be well produced, and that's an entire team. You could have a good crew, which is great. But if you don't have a good director, let me tell you, a lot of actors, even good actors, fall flat. Which is what we call an actor's director. Helps you find where you should be, what is happening, you know, question you, what's going on in your head? Why do you feel this? You know, what's your reaction to what she just did? What do you think about it? And that's good because it helps you capture that moment, and that's what TV is about. It's those little moments that you're thinking of that come out on the screen.
Every day being on set with her is a learning experience, and you learn so many things, not necessarily about your art, but just about yourself.
She brings a very different aspect of you as an actor. I mean, she lets you be in control of the scene, endeavors to do very little and deliberately, very little in terms of how you understand the script. She tells you, okay, fine, so this is a scene, this is an improvisation, what do you think? And you do what you think, and then she just kind of says, okay, a little too high, a little too low, you know, patch here and there, but basically she allows you as an artist to interpret the character the way you think.
Your Excellency, sir, 90% of the premises is under CCTV coverage.
Welcome to Alcatraz.
Wanuri and I have been business partners for 4 years. So we started Awali together after we realized that we were both very like-minded in the way that we like to tell stories. When we met, there was instant chemistry in terms of storytelling. And then working with Wanuri is probably the most collaborative you could ever find with a director. And it's nice to work with a director who also understands producers can be creative people too. We have a very collaborative relationship, and we're very close, so we trust each other. Wanuri trusts me to take care of her, and I trust her to tell her a great story. So it's a fantastic marriage.
I like her style of working. What she does is she takes you through the character so that you can understand the role that you're supposed to be playing. And I think that is very important.
Being associated with such a highly acclaimed director is good for any actor's career. So if Wanuri calls for an interview, you run.
I have the name of the most amazing caterer. I use her for all my parties.
Ma'am, I think we should handle all the food in-house. It's much cheaper.
We're shooting at a house that is a fabulous location. It's set on 10 acres of land. It has beautiful gardens. It has numerous rooms that we can shoot different sets in. So we've managed to be able to do the whole show, just about the whole show, on one location. it has been the perfect backdrop to the story, because it has such age and prestige and honor associated with the house and the previous owners, that it's in itself, it lends itself to the kind of atmosphere that we need.
This house is amazing. It's quite something. This house is so stately. It's perfect. It feels like, you know, the president's house. Nothing is new. It just feels like what a president's house would be like, with stately pieces. And then, you know, the best, the lions. The lions and the cheetahs. I'm like, who has this stuff in their house?
It's as huge, as imposing as State House. It was built to that sort of quality and standard. And the interesting thing, it's also not very new. So it was built, I'm told, between 1972 and 1979. So amazing how still the architecture is still very relevant, if I can say that, or very unique even to this time now. It's amazing how the different rooms, especially my office and the lounge and those are the offices that really fit the bill in terms of our concept of the State House.
Once we've discovered the location, we then tried to figure out the different ways that we can transform it. The house in itself, I think, came ready to be transformed into the President's house, so we're very lucky in that way.
Initial preparation work was really intensely looking at all of the state houses that we could find, and they're not public places, so we had to branch out into the White House in America and other places where it is more public, more access. And started investigating the history of those houses and how are they run, most importantly, and who are the staff and what do they do and how do they interact with the president and the first family, and what energy do they bring to the house. And that research took months. And then we came into this environment. It's already quite grand. So what we just took advantage of that. And we said, okay, it's already grand, let's make it a little bit grander. And let's just implement all of that research that we've done into this space. And I think it's worked out really well. Because I think that when you walk in here, you feel stately. You feel like you're somewhere exclusive and somewhere where government could be run.
As anyone who's followed State House 1 will know, there is a lot up in the air when Series 1 ends. There is nothing I'm willing to give away at this point. All I can say is tune in for Series 2.